Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to my QuickBooks tutorial. My name is Zach Pasquarello. I am a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor. I am a bookkeeper, and I own my own business, Harrisburg Bookkeeping. We operate in central Pennsylvania, but we also have clients all over the country. So California, Texas, Florida, Minnesota. Yeah, anyway, all over the country, a bunch of different states. Virtual bookkeeping, QuickBooks. And today I wanted to talk about importing your bank data. So I have a video about connecting your bank feed. I highly recommend that, doing that first. But for whatever reason, you might not be able to do that. Or maybe you just don't want to connect your entire bank feed. Or maybe you started off using a different checking account and it's only partially for your business. So first of all, I would highly recommend completely separating your business and your personal expenses. And then also, if you own multiple businesses, completely separate your business checking accounts, your business credit cards, isolate them from one another and from your personal expenses. That way, there's no confusion. It's your data and your transactions are all organized. You're not going to waste a bunch of time differentiating between personal expenses, business expenses. Highly, highly, highly recommend create a business checking account, get a business credit card, and keep things separate. So depending on your credit score will depend on what credit cards you qualify for, but American Express has a pretty cool business credit card. It was super easy for me to get the credit card. I've been a member since 2018, so maybe my history with them helped me get the credit card. If you're a first-time user, it might be a little bit more paperwork for you to file. But American Express, check them out. Everyone's heard of them. They've got pretty good credit cards and 0% interest for the first 12 months. I mean, you can't beat that. 0% interest first 12 months. Now, don't go out and spend $20,000, $30,000 if you're not going to be able to pay it off. But you can spend up to your credit limit and not pay any interest for the first 12 months. Just please make sure you pay it off after that. Anyway, without further ado, jump right into it. How to import your bank data. You're going to first start with Excel. And the best way to do it is to download your transactions directly from your bank statement online. So you can log in your bank online and download transactions. I would recommend either downloading them in Excel format, .csv, comma, separated values, .csv. I think it's just like a more simple version of Excel. It looks the exact same, but it doesn't have all the formatting, all the colors and the tables and the charts that Excel has. Or .qbo, so .QuickBooks Online. You can save it directly. Most of the banks I've seen, and the credit card companies, you can save your transaction data directly from their website in a .qbo, and then you just open up the file and it imports it right into QuickBooks. So I'm going to show you. So if you do that, obviously this data is going to auto-populate, but I'm going to show you real quick. Oh, and I just downloaded this fancy new, where is it? Where's my little pointer? Man, I don't know where it is. Anyway, not a big deal, but I downloaded this fancy new cursor that would let me, it would highlight my cursor, but I don't know where it is, so I'll do it for the next video. Okay, so if you see here, I'll zoom in for you. How's that look? Yeah, that looks good. Date, the date of the transaction. You're going to pull that directly from your checking account or your credit card statement. So we will say yesterday, 4/29/2021. The description, we will say Home Depot. Just pull that description directly from your checking account, your credit card statement. Withdrawal or deposit. So withdrawal means you spent the money. Deposit means you received the money. So we will keep it stupid simple. KISS, $100. Withdrawal. Okay, from Home Depot. let's say the day before that, you went to Staples and you spent $50. And then lastly, let's say before that, John Smith paid you $200. Super basic, just for demonstration purposes. We have date, description, withdrawal, deposit. Now, this is an Excel worksheet, Microsoft Excel. If you don't have Excel, I recommend getting Excel. I use it a lot. I love it. Now, this is important. File, save as, save it anywhere. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yep, okay, you can see this. Okay, so now this is important. Save as type. CSV, comma, delimited. No idea what that means, but that is the necessary file type for QuickBooks compatibility. We will say April bank statement. CSV, comma, delimited. April bank statement. There's my face. Now, I'm going to show you a couple things. First of all, in your QuickBooks account, your online QuickBooks online subscription, on the left-hand side, you're going to see transactions. Go to banking. Now, if you want to delete an obsolete checking account or savings account or credit card, all you have to do, I'm going to delete this. Just hit this little pencil button, edit account info, disconnect this account on save. Save and close. Just like that, it is gone. That's how you get rid of or delete a checking account from your bank feed. Now, we're going to upload transactions. Bring your info into QuickBooks. I have a video talking about securely connect your bank. You can connect it. Just enter in your username and password. Answer your security questions. Type in the 6-digit code, text message to your cell phone, and it is as simple as that. Connect your bank account. But today we are going to get your info from your bank. So open a new tab and sign into your bank, which we don't need to do that, but I talked about that in the beginning, and then download transactions. CSV, QFX, QBO, OFX, or TXT format only. I don't know about TXT or FX. I only ever download in .QBO or .CSV. Just personal preference. Now, browse, desktop, or wherever you saved it. You can search, that's all files, right here. April bank statement. Open. You see there .csv. Click next. Now, QuickBooks is going to ask you what kind of account this is. So you still have to tell QuickBooks, is it a credit card? Is it a loan? Maybe a car loan, a mortgage? We'll say it's a bank. The most common thing you're going to have is a bank and a checking account. We'll say checking. Save and close. Checking 2. Now, this is very important. Make sure this is accurate. First row in file is a header row. I don't know if you remember, but the first row in the file said date, description, withdrawal, or deposit. So yes, check that box if the first row is a header row. That way it will not include. Now make sure the date format lines up with your CSV file. So the date, column 1, date, select the appropriate date format. Make sure that it exactly matches. Column 2, description, and it says right here, date, description, and then this is also very important, the amount. So you need to say whether it's one column, both positive and negative numbers, or two columns, separate positive and negative numbers. So I did two columns. So money spent will be withdrawal. Money received will be deposit. So this is all very important that you get these details 100% accurate. So it can be one column, but you have to do positive and negative numbers, which is, in my opinion, kind of a pain in the butt. So I do two columns, separate positive and negative numbers. Make sure you have to tell QuickBooks in what column is your money spent, column 3, withdrawal. In what column is your money received, column 4, deposit. Next, it's going to show you the transactions. Make sure this is all good. If you want to exclude any of the transactions, you can uncheck them, but we will include all. Hit next. 3 transactions will be imported. Do you want to continue? Yes. Thank you for asking. Next step, accept your transactions. You are in control of how your bank info goes into QuickBooks. Transactions only show up in your books after you review and accept them. Let's go. So just like QuickBooks' friendly little reminder, you are in control of your bookkeeping. So these are in QuickBooks, but they are not added to your general ledger or your chart of accounts. So now we need to go in and click each transaction. If you want, you can identify the vendor or the customer. It's not required, but the category is. So what did you buy from Home Depot? Probably the majority of the time, your expenses will be job supplies or advertising and marketing or repairs and maintenance. Those are probably the big 3. For simple business owners, I mean, obviously once you grow your business, you're going to have potentially hundreds of chart of accounts for your expenses. But job supplies, office supplies and software, repairs and maintenance, advertising and marketing, cost of goods sold, cost of labor, those are probably the big ones. So we'll say job supplies. And you can customize your chart of accounts. I've got a whole other video about how to customize your chart of accounts. If you don't like these options, you can add a new option. I'll show that real quick. So you can go here, account type, scroll down to expenses, and then they have a bunch of different options here. This isn't super important because I can say cost of labor for the detail type, but then I can rename it cost of contractors 1099 if I want. The detail type is not super important. What is important is the account type and the name. The name is very important. Okay, Home Depot, category, job supplies. You can write whatever you want in the memo. Home Depot, shovel for John Smith project. Confirm. Once you hit confirm, it is added to your general ledger in your chart of account, job supplies, as a job expense for $100, date 4/29/2021. So make sure all of these business expenses are necessary and ordinary, which is kind of the IRS's definition of a business expense. It must be necessary for your business and it must be ordinary, whatever that means. Up for you. and the IRS to decide. Staples, classic. See, look at that. QuickBooks is pretty good sometimes. Their artificial intelligence is pretty good sometimes, but be careful. Not all the time. So it recognized staples and it suggested office supplies and software. Thank you very much, QuickBooks. And then it recognized $200 as sales. Income. Sale of product, sales, billable expense, uncategorized income. I recommend staying away from uncategorized income unless you're in a hurry and you don't know how to categorize it, but eventually you're going to have to categorize your income and your expenses. So you can do uncategorized all day long, but at the end of the day, before you file your taxes, your profit and loss statement should not just say everything's uncategorized. That would be kind of pointless. So sales for John Smith. And then that's all done. You can go into categorized. You can see these 3 expenses are categorized. And then on the left-hand side here, you can go to chart of accounts. And checking 2, you can view the register. And you can see all 3 of the transactions are here. And then lastly, you can scroll down to all of your chart of accounts and you can find whichever one you want to take a look at. We will go for sales, run the report, and you can see here 427 deposit, John Smith, sales $200. Back to chart of accounts, office supplies and software, run the report, staples 428, $50. That's how you import your bank data. Very simple, easy to understand. You just need to know where to click. There's a lot of buttons, a lot of options, and it can be difficult the first time doing it. Believe me, I started working in QuickBooks in 2020, over a year ago, and it was intimidating when I first got started. I had no idea what I was doing. But you can learn it, you can master it, and you can do your own bookkeeping. Watch my tutorials, ask questions, watch other YouTube videos, utilize Google, and you can manage your own QuickBooks when you get started, when your income is low. Don't waste money on the first month of business outsourcing your bookkeeping, because bookkeepers will charge $50 an hour, $200 to $300 a month. Do it yourself for the first 3 to 6 months, get a firm understanding of accounting, and then outsource it after 6 months. And when you do need help, feel free to contact me, call me, email me, message me on Facebook. Check out my Facebook page. I post a lot of good bookkeeping tips and advice and just general Facebook posts about business, typically. And then also check out my other YouTube tutorials. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.